Yo. Wait, did I write REDDOT? Scary REDDOT stories. REDDOT, my favorite site. I'm not changing it. I don't even think I know how to change it, to be honest with you. We are committed. Haley, first time watching the stream, welcome, welcome. Yeah, anybody new? We're gonna be chilling out here for the time on the screen there, 15 minutes, and then we'll kick off by recording some scary, spooky, dookie, maluki. And Changeling Blaze, welcome back for 8 months, my friend. Good to see ya. Been looking for a job for several months now, and I finally got called for this awesome opportunity I'm stoked about. Congrats, Mary. I hope it goes well. Joel, last night at midnight, I read that it was Thursday and waited for 2 hours for your stream to start. I'm stupid. You're good. Yeah. Well, it's all good. I know sometimes when I work night shift and stuff, I wouldn't even know what day it is a lot of the times. It's your comfort podcast. Thank you. I want it to be that way, you know? Something to escape away from all the bullshiz. And David De La Rosa with the 1. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. How was my Halloween? My Halloween was good. I got a fresh new cut from my barber, and yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot. I don't really get trick-or-treaters or anything like that. If I did, I'd turn them into meat pies. That's for sure. I'm new or not new though, like today isn't. Oh shit, 1 second. Twerking it out for Mr. Bowling with a 30. Buckaroo says, hey Joe, I hope you're doing well. I'm not feeling too good tonight. I've been feeling nauseated for the last 30 minutes. So I'm going to have to leave this stream. I hope you kick ass in it. I'll see you. Alright, Jacob, no worries, my friend. Hope you feel better. And thank you so much for your kind, twerkable amount. Isn't this music dope? Twerk it out, Mr. 500 pounds. Yeah, baby. I don't know. It was actually really crazy doing it. So, yes, I hit 500 pounds on my back squat at the gym yesterday, Wednesday. I felt very proud about it, you know. But it was kind of crazy because it's one of those things where it's like you work so hard towards something and then you get to that peak that you were working towards, and then it sort of comes and goes and you're like, oh, all right, I just guess I did that, you know. Time to go on to 600 pounds now or whatever. Which 600 pounds, that would be kind of wild. Like 5 is sick, but 6? Some people on TLC weigh that much. Ooh. 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 My insomnia is usually through the roof. Even strong medicine can't help it. Occasionally my girlfriend really showed me her channel, and since then sleeping can become a lot easier. Thank you. You're welcome, Precision. I'm very happy to hear that. Sleep is like literally medicine. It's like everything possible that can heal in your body and make you feel better will come from sleep. So I'm happy that I can be the sleep dealer. Who's the guy that like puts like the Sandman? That's why I should have named my channel Sandman. Keep going, I'll be able to lift you. Hell yeah. Mr. Obese. Your body would snap like a twig. It's okay, you just gotta do it for a long time like me and eventually get there. I mean, it is kind of weird to think like I made most of my squat gains back when I was like a newbie lifter in like high school. And then I didn't lift at all during college. I like just ran. I did a lot of running because I lost a lot of weight. I went from like 200 pounds in high school to like 155 pounds. It was kind of wild how quick I lost that weight. And then I got back into lifting after college and just kind of been sticking with it. But only more recently in the past year. Like I would say from February is when I started focusing on this like 531 lifting program that I'm doing. And yeah, I put on like 60 pounds on my squat, which is crazy. Because I came in and I think my max was like 445. So to go up that much in like 8 months is really fucking cool. Sleep is a privilege. You gotta get it where you can. Joel, when did you realize you have a voice for social streaming and podcast? I don't know. Like when I tried it, I guess. In a weird way, like the motivation was to do YouTube because there were people on YouTube like having so much success. But the narration part was just a unique idea that popped in my head that I thought was like nothing anybody did on YouTube. And sometimes I feel like you don't really realize that you have like it, maybe not necessarily a gift per se, but like, well, I guess in some ways a voice would be a gift, but you can also manipulate a voice to get it to where you want it to be. I'm trying to get some more defined chest, but I'm struggling. Any suggestions? Honestly, my biggest suggestion for chest, like a good chest pump, is dips. If you're familiar with dips, some rigs at the gym and stuff will have like a setup for dips. But you basically, it's like you're kind of going deep into your triceps, but it's like stretching your chest out and you're using your chest and tries to like push yourself up. And then I would say in combination with that, doing some like dumbbell incline bench. But you know, even if you do get your chest where you want it, be sure you don't neglect your like rear delts and your back, because those are like the complementary muscles, the antagonist muscles of that upper body group. And you know, you don't want to overdevelop your chest where you're like kind of slouching forward. You'll see a lot of people have their like shoulders, they slouch forward, and that might be from sitting on the computer all the time, but also just from fucking motherfucking overdeveloping the chest. And then if you ever have any pain with your shoulder pertaining to that, there's this thing I've been using more recently called like a slingshot, and you can use that for dips and things, and you basically put it around your arms and chest, and it will help you like not have any stress on your shoulder or anything. Why is your theme astronauts? I think it's interesting and cool. Well, yeah, so when I first started, I used to twerk a lot. Hold on a second. Jacob, again, with the big 30, says, I just wanted to give you another $30 to support you because, Joel, you are awesome. You're my friend in the Buttersock Cult. Let's raise some hell. I'm going to get some rest. I'll be here for the stream Sunday. Sounds good, Jacob. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. It's called a Bowflex. Got to go on a little mission across town. Best of luck. But yeah, so when I first started, I did fucking sci-fi and horror. So it was like a perfect mix of like astronaut skeleton. Now you feel like working out a little? Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like there's something about working out that just makes you feel a lot more justified in existence in a weird way, you know? And I think it's just a natural state of things. Humans were sort of, to survive, they had to work. So like sometimes if you're not working or working out and using your body, you almost feel like you're like dying or something. And I kind of feel like that's what it is. Like you are kind of like advancing yourself towards death a little bit faster, depending on, you know, obviously if you work out too hard, you could kill yourself too, but don't do that. Don't neglect your dib dab. Yeah, don't forget the dib dab. That's next to the coccyx. Got any tips for getting back into exercise? I got my brown belt in martial arts, but I found fell off the last year. I put on some weight and it's hard to get back to motivation to work out. I would say just get your workout program in front of you. Take it slow, but try to just decide what your goals are. Your goals are probably to lose weight. It sounds like you want to do some, you know, sounds like you want to, you know, lift some weights to get just, you know, sometimes just having your body physically feel and look different than it did before is like such a huge confidence booster. So I would try to consider like a weightlifting, even if it's just like compound movements, like squat, deadlift, bench, and shoulder press and that kind of thing. Pull-ups. Try to find somewhere online that can kind of get you into a program like that and like ease you into it. And then also find somewhere that can help you basically just exercise nutrition. Find somewhere that can help you figure out your nutrition. And I think once you have it written down, and maybe even if you wrote it down yourself, like wrote down the exact program you want to follow, your goals, your nutrition, the macros you're going to need to get to that weight goal, the macros you're going to need to get like enough protein to grow muscle, or at least maintain muscle while you're losing weight. It might really motivate you to like see it written down and to write it down, kind of like doing homework a little bit, but like, I don't know, you might feel like you need something that involves you a lot more, that makes you feel like once it's set in front of you, you're like, I'm going to at least stick with this for 6 months. And then you get the 6 months and you're like, all right, I'm going to stick with this for a whole year to see how it turns out. And then all of a sudden it becomes like a lifestyle that you just don't want to give up because you feel great doing it. Every winter I gain weight. Plan of attack this year is lift 3 times and cardio 2 times. We'll see how it goes. Hey, yeah, just keep sticking with it. Can't afford good food or a strict program. I'm telling you, if you put your mind to it, you can find tons of free programs online, as well as probably some pretty cheap gym memberships. You know, the YMCA, if you have one of those around, sometimes is like $100 for a whole year, which is huge. What is that? You know, less than $10 a month. And then, you know, as far as food goes, you'll figure it out. I know sometimes budgeting and figuring, and honestly, that's a great, I think to me, that for people to like figure out their own programming online, obviously it takes a degree of passion, but once you get into the rhythm of it, you'll like it. Like, it's like doing anything. Like, step 1 is always like the hardest process, but once you begin those steps, you take it into completion, you make it part of your routine, and suddenly you're like proud of yourself for what you literally pulled out of nothing. You pulled it out of your butt and you made it real. But I guarantee that you can find ways to find carbs and find protein that are healthy, that are affordable. Do I do weighted dips? I do weighted dips. And that's the nice thing about the dips with those, is that you can kind of add that to your chain. You got a chain around your waist and you can continue to test yourself. And I would say with those, you definitely want to wear that slingshot thing just to protect your shoulders on that, because it can get a bit iffy. Anyone else get kidney stones? Is level pain normal? Yeah, kidney stones are very serious, and the pain can be very, very agonizing. So I would... Oh shit! 1 second. Again, what the heck? Sorry. Jacob with another 30 says, on second thought, I'm going to stay for the stream because I am the game. I'm the king of kings. I don't let anything keep me from watching the streams. The hell with me being nauseated. I'm going to stay for the stream. Heck yeah, Jacob. That's what I like to hear. Staying strong, staying disciplined. What's my bench? I did put up 265 the other day for a 1. And my goal is to get to like 315. And I feel like we're on the trajectory there. We've been hitting all the goals. 500, or I did 315 on power clean, 500 on squat, 200 on overhead press. Even though that was a day where I felt really fucking good and just like kept going till a 1. And then deadlift, I hit 500. Tomorrow is a deadlift day. But yeah, bench is definitely my weakest movement as far, or at least my like least successful movement. And then the issues with the shoulder is a little frustrating, but I'm really, really, really hoping that with the use of that slingshot thing, that I'll be able to keep doing that and getting stronger without any sort of issues with the labrum or whatever the heck, All right, friends. We got the old screen back. Can you believe it? Halloween is over. There's only 363 more days to Halloween. But that playlist we were listening to was Cosmic Mushroom Forest Ambient Music Chill Instrumental on the Alien Ambient Music channel. Good shit. How big am I? Well, not even like, it's kind of sad. I was honestly doing pretty good with my diet. Eating, as you guys remember, like meat and berries, which is a great way to lose weight, or just at least lose inflammation and all that kind of stuff that might hold on to water or all the other crap. But more recently, I've kind of just like been eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and not giving a fuck. And now today I weighed in at like 215. I literally was like 205 not even 3 weeks ago. It's kind of bad. I don't know. I'm just very prone to just like heavy fluctuations in weight pretty quickly, and it's kind of a bad thing. I don't know. Uncrustables. No, I never actually got to try an Uncrustable before, but it's funny, like when you're younger, you're always like privy to all the different types of snacky snacks. And I remember Uncrustables kind of like came out after my time. But maybe I should give them a whirl. Some is likely water weight. Nah, it's definitely a lot of water weight because carbs hold onto the water. Creatine, I take that, and that holds on to water within the muscles. And definitely a lot of water weight for sure. A lot of like just general bloating, but the goat bloat, the bloated goat. Dates are your weakness. Yeah, dates are fuck. That's if you want to see a way to like gain weight quick, eat a fuck ton of dates. I mean, they're great for fiber, but they are a lot of sugar, carbs. But that's whenever the fucking mixed berries, the mixed frozen berries, you let them thaw out. They are great for fiber. Some of the best shizits I've ever taken. And it's actually, I know this is kind of TMI, but it honestly feels great to consistently have like good bowel patterns. And I will have to attribute a lot of that to mixed berries and frozen berries, just because, how tall am I? I'm 5'10". Sad whale voice, mostly water weight. That's funny. All right, friends. But anyways, we got a bunch of Reddit stories here to bang through. Thanks for being here. Click that like button. Sorry for starting late. I don't know if did I tell you guys I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I should go on a diet. Thanks, Lucas. I will soon. I hope. But yeah, I saw Five Nights at Freddy's, so that kind of put me behind schedule a wee bit. It was streaming on Peacock. It was streaming on Penis Cock. Have you seen it? You eat all your dates. Good shits are underrated. 5'10", I'm 5 foot, bro. It's all good. I mean, we are just what we are on Earth, you know, and as long as you don't let those things that you think are shortcomings, you know, become insecurities or whatever, just fuck it, dude. Just be you. You're 10'5", hell yeah. Is it too scary for kids? You know, it's PG-13, and it's definitely a solid PG-13 in my opinion, because there's a lot of violence in it that, you know, isn't like overly grotesque in the sense that it shows it, but it's more than I feel like PG-13 used to show in the past. Because I'm gonna do a quick spoiler real quick. You can close your ears for 15 seconds. Going to talk about a kill. I'm going to talk about a kill in the movie, which I did not expect, honestly, to see. And there was a girl. She was, for whatever stupid reason in the movie, she was looking... Oh, shit, 1 second. Oh, my God. Jacob bowling again. Holy shit, Jacob. Is that 4 twerks? 1 more big donation? Hell yeah. Because tonight, I'm going to go big. Because Joel deserves my support. Because I have helped him over the last year. I've destroyed the sack spots. Tonight will be a memorable night. This is true, Jacob. But, Jacob, don't feel obligated at all to do that. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. You see the fight that broke out of the FNAF showing? I did see that. And I kind of, like, wondered if it was fake. Because it, like, released that video, like, I think the night before it came out. Is tonight's story PG-13? I would say my whole channel, honestly, is PG-13. Because how would you rate, like, narrations? Even if it was the most violent narration ever, if it didn't say swear words, wouldn't it technically be, like, just sort of implied? But in a weird way, like, if someone talks about violence or something, because that's usually what rated R stuff gets rated R for. If you talk about it, but you don't show it, is that, you know, it's more or less your mind that's kind of like creating the imagery. Do I actually twerk when the music comes on? Goddamn right. I fucking throw that shit back. That voice is rated R. But yeah, anyways, in FNAF, the one chick, she gets pulled into Freddy's mouth. Okay, spoiler. We're gonna do some dead meat kills, but we're gonna describe them. She gets pulled into Freddy's mouth, and it shows it from like a shadow view. And to thus point in the movie, they fucking didn't, you know, really show anything. They just sort of implied violence, which was pretty gruesome, but, you know, it was sort of like your typical you know, you kind of just imagine it in your head, and it's probably scary for kids. But so she gets pulled into Freddy's mouth, and then the silhouette shows her getting fucking chopped in half, like bit in half by a animatronic bear, like it's a bear trap, but like you can see like the goo. I don't know. Luke, I am your father. Luke. Wait, doesn't he have like kind of a whiny voice? Didn't Darth Vader kind of have like a whiny voice? Whiny. Luke, I am your father. Luke, I am your father. I am your father. Okay, unmute. You can unmute now. You muted me. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm done talking about it. I'll stop talking about Fwebbies. We'll get some Reddit stories in here first. And then I'll spoil the whole fucking thing. A few years ago, I came to something of a sort of unfortunate realization. I was not great at cleaning. Now, don't get it twisted, I didn't live like a pig or anything. I changed my sheets regularly, didn't leave dishes around, and generally kept my apartment clean and tidy. But then as I learned, if you live in an apartment in the Northeast and try to skimp on heating bills in the winter, you're gonna invite in some very unwanted guests into your apartment. I'm not talking about rats or roaches, I'm talking about mold. Now don't worry, this isn't going to be some story about me taking on a mold outbreak or anything, although it was scary how much it spread and how gross it was to clean. No, this story is about how we all think we know the places we live, right up until we realize that we don't. So without boring you with all of the pointless details, there was this huge mold outbreak, and it took a whole day's worth of dabbing Clorox on the walls to get rid of it all. Like a lot of stuff like that, it's no good to just bleach what you can see. You gotta find the source. So in every room in my apartment, which was 4 if you count the hallway, I had to bleach all the mold I could see and find the source, which was sometimes hidden somewhere out of sight. So I do the TV room and the kitchen and work my way down the hallway and into the bathroom, and finally, I start working on my bedroom. As I'm sort of dabbing away, I slowly figure out that the mold is coming from my boiler closet, which figured because damp, dark, warm place, of course it's going to grow there first. I don't think I'd opened this closet in maybe a year, which I know, lucky me, right? Never having any hot water problems? Well, not so lucky actually, because I opened up that closet door and saw the mother lode staring me right in the face. The whole outbreak must have come from this one huge patch that I had found growing in the closet, so I got to work wiping the whole place down. Once I thought I was done, I grabbed a flashlight, kind of leaned into the closet and started looking around for any patches that I'd missed. Up near the closet ceiling was this little wooden shelf, and on that little shelf was something made of fur or felt or something, because it was natural enough for the mold to really take a liking to it. Knowing I'd had another outbreak of... Oops. The land of unemployment. Have you guys had a bad experience at a coffee shop or so? I got a Starbucks coffee with my friends, then we went to Tate to get dessert. I got some cinnamon for coffee, and an employee was looking at me angry. Nice, dude. Get them dirty looks. Ooh, shit, 1 second. Dude, they give me a dirty look when I do this. And again, with the big, twerkable amount, Jacob, thank you for the 30 buckarina. Says Joel, I respect what you were saying, but let's be honest, I have put you over more than anyone else, so I'm gonna go big tonight because you deserve all of my support, so I'm gonna support tonight more than ever. Jacob, I appreciate that, man. I don't even know what we're at so far, but It's my birthday. It feels like my birthday. Sarah TR with the 2 says, what's the next movie recommendation? Well, you know, I still have a little sticky note on my desk that says, it stains the sand red. And I watched the trailer for it, and it actually looks fucking scary. Because it's like, at least from the trailer, so this isn't like actually too much of a spoiler, but it's about a girl that's out in the desert for some particular reason. Either she breaks down or whatever, but then also simultaneously occurring around that time is a zombie outbreak. And then the zombie, you know, shows up and then proceeds to sort of chase her endlessly through the desert without remorse or without any, you know, stopping. And it's like way scary. For some reason, it's like way scarier than like all the Walking Dead like type stuff, because it's just like a very personal, like, it's this fucking zombie. It will not stop. I don't know. It just seemed like a very awesome idea for a zombie movie. And I haven't seen a zombie movie in a long ass time. All right. Whose birthday is it? Oh, Babes Mariba. Happy birthday to you. Everybody say happy birthday to Babes. Babby. Recommendation movies are my favorite. When's it out? I think It Stains the Sand Red is actually out already. It may have been out for a while. Have you seen Green Inferno? That movie made me puke. I have not seen that. It sounds familiar, though. They released Blade reboot movie plot. It sucks. Oh, damn. That's sad. Blade is one of my favorites. I love Blade. Love Wesley Snipes and that whole series. I didn't watch the one where it was like on Stars or like a show or whatever, but the ones with Wesley Snipes were sick AF. Knowing I'd have another outbreak if I just left it there, I grabbed what turned out to be a little felt-lined box and then carried it off into the kitchen to be cleaned. Obviously, I'm way curious to see what's inside, mostly because this thing had been sat in my apartment for coming up on like 3 years without me knowing it was there. It also dawned on me that whatever was inside, it was precious enough to store in some fancy fur box before hiding it away somewhere. Therefore, there was a good chance that there might be, I don't know, maybe some coins in there, or maybe even some precious stones. So after wiping away some of the mold, grime, and dust that accumulated on what had to have been many years, I unclasped the little brass lock and opened up the box. Inside was nothing but a small envelope and an old audio cassette tape. The tape didn't have any labels on it, so there was no telling what it contained, and the same applied to the envelope. No name, no address, nothing. I didn't have any means of playing the tape. My laptop doesn't even have a disc tray anymore, so I opened up the envelope to find a bunch of photographs inside. The first 2 or 3 photos were just some of dirty old... It Follows is getting a sequel. I did hear that, yeah. I mean, isn't the movie just about, like, HIV or something like that, or STDs or some shit? Because, like, every good horror movie is, you know, all it is just some metaphor for something. Not that horror movies always have to be just a metaphor, but that tends to be the case. Oh, shit, 1 second. I'm getting good at this. Oh, I thought I saw a big spider on the wall over there. Nope, just a weird shadow. Jacob with the big 30 says, "You damn right I'm making it rain on Joel because he deserves it. Because of all the hard work Joel has done, all the kindness he's shown me tonight, I'm returning the favor to him." Well, thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. And thank you so much. Yeah, geez Louise. Enemy Mine. I've never heard of Enemy Mine. What's that about? You now have the police station saved in your maps favorites, just in case. There you go. Make sure you save 911 too, just in case you need that. It's probably better to have that available more so than driving directly to the police station. Unless you're being followed, yeah, and then I guess go to the station. The first 2 or 3 photos were just of some dirty old basement, so I started flipping through them much faster until I saw one of a girl. Now right away I knew something was off because she didn't seem to be posing in any of the pictures. It looked like whoever had taken them had just shoved a camera in her face, flashed and all, and then just snapped away until she looked annoyed and then started to look scared. It was the scared expression that really caught my attention, and I recall staring at that one photo for a little too long. Not so much because it was nice to look at, which it wasn't, but because I was dreading whatever came next. I started flipping through the photos some more, real fast before shoving them back into the envelope and closing it. What I saw didn't seem real. It looked like something out of some horror movie, but there was no way in hell that I was going to look at them all over again to check. I saw that basement again, with the girl in it, and this time she was tied up, with no clothes on, and she looked... that look on her face. No actor or actress in the world can capture that true terror, but it was etched all over that poor girl's face. I had no idea what to do with myself at first. I just knew that I had to get them out of my apartment. I didn't want to touch them because I was panicking about having my fingerprints all over them, even though they looked like they were taken at a time when I wasn't even alive. I guess I was just so shocked by what I'd seen that I wasn't thinking straight, but I went full forensic files and didn't want to go anywhere near the envelope or tape for fear of contaminating evidence or something like that. I then called the cops, told them the whole story, and then I was told that I'd get a call from the relevant party either later that day or the following morning. They also told me not to worry about all that contamination stuff, as they could just take a sample of my DNA and fingerprints to eliminate me as a suspect. Essentially, I didn't have to go treating that boiler room, closet, or kitchen like some crime scene. I could just put it all to one side, maybe even a grocery bag or whatever, and someone would be by to take a look. The next day, some detective guy stopped by my apartment after giving me a call ahead, and after putting on some of those plastic gloves, he started to take a look through the photographs. The thing that I still find incredibly creepy about those few moments was how he was able to look through each and every photograph, really take them all in, and he didn't even bat an eye. The few flashes of stuff that I'd seen had me shoving them back into the envelope and panicking from how messed up they were. But there was... The tentacle is seriously licking my ear, is it? Oh yeah, it's taunting me. It's giving me a little bit of spatial ASMR. You're awesome. If no one has told you today, love your channel, helps with sleep. Thank you. Thank you, Drew. Good to see you. Appreciate you. You're back, Lucas. Lucas, guess what? In the span that you were gone, I've lost weight. But I lost too much. You made me insecure, and now I weigh 100 pounds, and I'm very ill. The few flashes of stuff that I'd seen had me shoving them back into the envelope and panicking from how messed up they were. But there was the... What does this fucking say? But there was this middle-aged hair... But there was this middle-aged, gray-haired cop, just cold as ice, as he's looking through some of the most messed up stuff I've ever seen in my life. It made me wonder what other stuff he'd seen in his time to make him so stone cold like that. Having determined the pictures were legitimate, the cop started bagging up the evidence and asked me if I'd listened to what was on the tape. When I told him no, he told me probably for the best. Before he left, he asked me to take a look in my closet real quick, as in the place that I'd found the box. Jesus Christ. Ooka, booka, booka. Jacob bowling a 300 a night with another twerkable amount. Says tonight I feel like joking about the sack spots, so let's get into the sack spots. We're stupid because they wanted the Buttersock call to click on their website because they were lonely. This is true. All of those sex bots that frequented the streams, it's not that they were trying to scam lonely men or lonely people. They themselves were incredibly lonely. But Jacob, thank you again, my friend. Going ham jam tonight. Pity I didn't have a twerk emoji for... Did I do have a twerk emoji, right? I swear I do. What? Where is it? I swear I had like a little drawing of a man throwing his ass back. Huh. Oh, I think I tried to add it or something. It was like too big, or the ass was too fat. I forget. Don't forget to welcome Susie Dunn. Did I miss one? Wait, did Susie... Huh. Wait, did Susie become a member or something? Well, either way, hello, Susie, but, Oh, get the gifter. Yeah, what the hell? How did I miss that? It's not even, like, showing up. Damn. So sorry. Aaliyah Poison with a 1 gifter. There it is. Okay. Sorry, it took me forever. 2 Susie Dunn. Welcome, Susie. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the gifters. You now have access to bonus content. A good underrated scary movie is The Ritual. Yeah, what's that one about? Alright, thank you guys again. How old am I? I am 33. 34 in June. Yeah, Jacob has now earned a free hat. It should be coming out of his printer at home now. 3D printed. Before he left, he asked me to take a look in my closet real quick, as in the place that I'd found the box in the first place. I told him sure. Then, after making sure that there was nothing else hidden away, he gave me his contact details and told me to give him a call if I ended up finding anything else. I never did find anything else, nor did I ever hear back from the detective. Pardon me. Part of me wanted to reach out at one point just to see how the investigation was going, but I didn't, because there was only one thing I really needed to know, and that was something I could find out for myself. I went down into the basement of my apartment building just to take a look around, and I don't think words can sum up how relieved I was when nothing matched any of the scenery that I saw in the photographs. I know that there was nothing I could have done about what happened to that poor girl in the photographs, but it helped me sleep a lot better knowing that it hadn't all happened beneath the place that I laid my head at night. Hey, Rachel Stevens. Thank you for the gifter. To Fry. Welcome, Fry. Fry, if you want a link to Fry for bonus content, I'm sure Fry would really appreciate that. Alright, story 1 in the books. That one was creepy. What do you say, guys? That's creepy, right? A nice creeper for you. I'm loud and it's late. I hope I'm not too offensive. No, I really don't think there's anything anybody could say that would ever offend me. I mean, I say that and I probably have gone off the rails many times. Gotten absolutely trigged. Love your scary stories so much. Thank you, Savannah Barr, and Sam, and Colby, and Mommy. And a Mommy. A singular Mommy. Whoa, 1 second. Ooh, jeez, what is happening? Someone get Jacob his hat now with a big 30. Thank you, Jacob, says Buttersock Cole. You want to know why the sack spots were lonely? Here's the answer. The sack spots were stupid and they couldn't find anyone to share life with. Jesus. That is the most on-the-nose punchline I've ever heard, but I love it. I'll be telling that at my next stand-up set. But thank you again, my friends. And Sarah TR, thank you for the gifter. To Joseph. Welcome, Joseph. Jacob gets 1 free small coffee. When I sell this Telluride at the end of the month, I swear to... What's a Telluride? I never heard of that. Telluride these nuts? That's what someone's probably going to say. I just got baited hard. You just love your kids so much? Well, that's good. It's good to be a good parent. This story took place in 2020 when I was 18 years old. I lived in a relatively safe neighborhood, but my country does have a high crime rate in general, so take that with a pinch of salt. My dad had passed away earlier in the year, and I had no siblings, so my mom and I lived alone in our house. The lockdowns were still in place, but as certain restrictions were lifted, people were starting to return to work. Between my house and the train tracks was a stretch of empty field. It became a safe, quiet space for me to escape to wherever I needed to get out of the house. I would normally sit there once a day for a cigarette. A ciggy. How long does the stream go for? It will go for usually like 3 hours, and we're about 50 minutes in. Also, I think I remember you asked me earlier what my skincare routine is, and it's not too crazy. It's pretty much just like a Cetaphil cleanser bullshit on the face in the shower, and then that's pretty much it. And then after I get out of the shower, I use Clinique for Men. It's like a gel moisturizer. It's blue. And that goes on my face. You want to do a cold case fundraiser for your 30th birthday? Interesting. What would that consist of? Yeah, I use butter on moisturize my face. After I make bacon, just pour it all over my grill. Sort of new to the channel. I've been listening nonstop for the past couple of weeks. This channel also makes me appreciate the good life I have compared to the people in the stories. It's true. It's always good to count your blessings every day and wake up thankful, because you just never know. And also be prepared for shit, you know? Have a dog, maybe a gun, maybe a dog with a gun, or like a dog with like a laser beam on his back. That'd be sick. Or a dog that knows how to use a gun, kind of like John Wick. Get a John Wick dog and you should be fine. I have a 98-year-old grandmother as of October 30th. Nice, dude. Yeah, my grandma's birthday is actually on Halloween as well. It's far, or close to.
Mr. Dish Dog.
I just walk off into like nowhere. Evelyn Ramirez, welcome to the Butter Sock Cult, my friend. Thank you so much. You now have access to bonus content. John Wick dogs go to heaven. This is true. All right. I would normally sit there once a day for a cigarette or two, sometimes for a little picnic. My home situation was complicated, to say the least, and due to the lockdowns, I really had nowhere else to go. On this particular day, I went there for a few minutes to smoke, as always. I was about halfway through my cigarette when I noticed a young man walking along the train tracks on the other side of the field. He was barefoot and wearing dirty, worn-out clothes. He noticed me and made a hand gesture suggesting that he was asking for a smoke. I should have just left, but as a teenager, I found it difficult to say no to people. I walked across the field and handed him a smoke. He took it from me, and I immediately felt uneasy with the way he was looking at me. He asked me, "Don't you live in that house over there?" and pointed at my house. I avoided answering the question, and at this point realized that I needed to leave. I had left from my front gate that day. For him to know where I lived, he must have watched me leave from the back gate before. I told him I needed to get going, and he started twerking on me. Oh, shit. Jacob Bowling with another 30 bucarinos. The sack spots don't have no one, and they never will have the chance to get anyone because I destroyed them. So the chances of that are 1 out of 100. Jacob, that's kind of a good chance. I feel like a 1% chance of the sack spots finding love is a little bit disconcerting for the future of the channel. Destroy them. Eliminate them all. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you. That animation is getting a workout. It is. Twerkaholic. He started insisting on giving me a hug. A hug. He gave me a hug. Come here so I can get a hug. Sorry. For him to know where I lived, he must have watched me leave from the back gate before. I told him I needed to get going. He started insisting on giving me a hug to say thank you, and I declined several times. At this point, I turned around and started walking away quickly. I didn't get very far. He caught up to me and put his arm around my waist. I started to panic, not knowing what to do. All I could think of was that I needed to get away. As I tried to start running, he grabbed me from behind and started dragging me toward the row of houses, where the view from the road is completely blocked. The fences were high too, so no one could see the field from their backyards, and we were completely isolated. I was kicking and struggling, desperate to get out of his grasp. He ended up throwing me on the ground, with him on top of me, still holding on. In a split second, my life flashed before my eyes. That feeling that something terrible was about to happen came over me. I couldn't escape. He was too strong. My arms were trapped by his, and he was holding me down so I couldn't kick him. I did the only thing I had left to do, and I started screaming for help. Suddenly I was free. I could move. He had let go and jumped off of me. He ran away. My heart was still pounding. I was shaking in shock from what had just happened. He disappeared into the industrial area on the other side of the train tracks. I immediately ran towards the road. As I reached it, I noticed it was empty. There were no cars parked in my neighbor's driveways. No one had heard me screaming, and he... What's my sign? I think it's the big pickle. It's right between Aries and Pisces. Pisceman. Do I write these stories? These ones are from REDDOT tonight. Reddit / let's not moit. Hey Joel, I'm off work with anxiety and police came to my house today saying someone tried to deliver a kilo of cannabis to my house, obviously unknown to me. Anxiety at all times high now. Interesting. Hey, I'm here with your kilo. It's kind of random though. Try delivering a kilo to your house. How did the cops even go 1 second? Yeah, Jacob, you're gonna go broke. What are you doing? With another 30 buckarongos. Says I'm not concerned about a sack spot finding love in the Let's Read channel because if I see one sack spot on the channel, I will destroy that sack spot. Period. Damn Skippy. I love astronomy. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm reading stories from REDDOT. No one heard me screaming. And had he realized that day could have been far worse. Sorry. No one heard me screaming, and had he realized that day could have had a far worse ending. He knew where I lived, and I was terrified of him returning. For months I had panic attacks and nightmares, and I could barely leave my house without breaking down. I moved away from there a year later, but I still sometimes get scared when I'm home alone or walking around town. Oh hi, I looked for this, but I didn't see it when I looked for it 2 hours ago. Sorry for being late. No worries. Yeah, I got off to a late start because I was watching 5 Nights at Freddy's. It was mid. I have a favorite wing flavor? I like normal hot wings, but I really like different versions of barbecue sauce. Sweet barbecue, spicy barbecue, barbecue, shrimp a la mode, shrimp on the Barbie, shrimp biscuits, barbecue sauce. It's really good. Do you watch Markiplier? I will check in on Markiplier from time to time, see what he's up to. I was not like some, Marky Moo Moo head, just because I kind of missed that era. Because YouTube kind of started, I guess, back in 2008, 2009? And before, by the time Let's Players showed up on the scene, I was pretty well into my early 20s. and just never really got into that vibe. But I do, you know, I think I would kind of like would watch some of those Let's Players just out of the morbid curiosity of like, oh, these guys are making a bunch of money, let's see what they do, you know. And yeah, he seems nice and chill. And he talks like this. Oh, shit. Oh, fucking balls. Oh, I'm scared. Where's my dog? Does he have a girlfriend? Let's just go right to that. Alright, I might have to throw this through chat GDP to fix the grammar, because it's kind of all over the place. What? Damn it. It says something bad, so it goes against the content policy. Can't have any weapons in the UK. We're sitting ducks. Well, the nice thing about the UK is that you can have a dog, right? But I found it really weird that, like, even with dogs, like, they were, like, demonizing the pit bull, which pit bulls are kind of scary, but at the same time, like, it's just weird, like, every little fucking thing, you get the entirety of, like, the neighborhood watch on top of it the second someone gets hurt. It's crazy. Oh shit, 1 second. Jacob with the 30 again. My gosh. Says, now that brings me to Destroyer Lynn. Lynn, you have earned my respect because you are an awesome moderator. You are a destroyer, and you will always be a destroyer. Hells to the yeah, she is. A destroyer of worlds. And Kira Pierce, welcome to the Buttersock Cult. You now have access to bonus content. Thank you, Kira. I kind of sound like Homer Simpson. That's funny. Jeez, Marge. Jeez, Marge. Jeez, Marge. Why are you little? Why are you little? Wait. Why are you little? I can't even do it. And Cam Jar, welcome back for 23 months, almost 2 years. How are you? What's happening? Thank you, thank you. And Shanus, thank you for the one gifter to Faceless. You now have access to bonus content. Thank you. And Kira Pierce with the 10 says, thank you, Joel, for giving me something oddly common to listen to. You're welcome, Kira. Good to see you. Thank you for the 10 smackaronis. Is there a food that you love but people seem to dislike? Oh, man. Yeah, what would that be? Well, I guess like mayonnaise. A lot of people I know fucking hate mayonnaise, but I don't. I throw that shit on whatever on stuff. Same with like ranch. I got friends, they fucking hate ranch. I'm like, bro, I need that for my wings. Stop watching Markiplier because now that they only do React videos. The best and last video was years ago when he played Alien Isolation. After that, big creator only do React content. I swear Markiplier did fucking, like, he always does those like three scary games or something. Yeah, Ram Ranch. Made TJ law on that one. He's lolling hard. Mark still plays a lot of games, I think, but Whatever. I need him to get in some controversy to just, you know, be more exciting. I need him to blow something up. He just posted a playthrough. Yeah. Mayo and ranch is puke-inducing. See, that's the same vibe, but... Oh, no, bro. I think it's a nice complementary flavor to various things. There's... You can add some spice to it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen Markiplier do React videos. But I also don't really pay too much attention. Oh, wow, there it is. Yeah, high fructose corn syrup. I fucking love it. Have you played scary games before? I love them. Yeah, I do from time to time. Have you ever tried VR? Yeah, I do have a VR, but I feel bad. There's something about it that just doesn't feel very natural to play it by myself unless I have people around to, like, spot me. You know, I feel like I'm gonna, like, put a fist through a fucking window or something accidentally, or, like, knock my computer monitor off. I don't know. It just feels abstract to use it, even though I should. And, because there was this one game, I think it's called Contractor or something like that. And it's like a first-person shooter, but it's like competitive, but it's VR. And that looks like it would be right up my alley, because I feel like I'd actually be curious if you had like really quick reaction time with like your hands and shit. Just gunning people down quick. It's not like before, all those big creators only do React content for the most part. XQC, Train Reckless, Markiplier. Yeah, I'm not sure about... I know XQC does a lot of React stuff, but I'm not sure about Mark. You could go to his channel right now and find a lot of gaming vibes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, Jacob with the 30 bucaranos says, Joe, I'm going to take you back to your favorite Motorhead song. These lyrics should get you excited. Going for the high one, dancing with the devil, going with the flow. It's all a game to me. The axe or spades, the ace of spades. Hell yeah. Oh, the ace of spades, ace of spades. Da, 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 da. Did you ever upload a playthrough? I actually do have a playlist where I played, you know, games in the past that you could probably find. I don't know if I don't think it's directly. And actually, some of my live streams, like going way, way back on that playlist, you can find me playing some games on stream. My most recent birthday stream, I played some games. Nobody was really too interested in that, but yeah, I do it from time to time. Try to fit in, try to be cool. Alright, I'm gonna have to just read this fucking story without editing the grammar, because ChatGPT didn't like what was in it, because there's a trigger warning for grooming and stalking. So it looks like somebody is very offended by their dog's hair getting cut. 2 or 3 years ago, I met this girl through mutual friends. She seemed almost amazing. She was so kind and eager to be friends with me, and she'd give me presents, compliments, so much, almost too much. Now in this friendship I was developing with her, she'd talk about kidnapping me and having her to herself. Dude, I need to... fuck. I need... The grammar is so bad, I like need something. I need somebody to fix it. I need a computer AI system to fix this. Oh, it's doing it. Alright. Wait, what? Come on, bro. Like, you think if you paid money, like what is why is there a content policy on shit that's your personal bullshit? It's not like I'm distributing these stories. Well, I guess I am through YouTube or whatever, but I meant in the sense of like posting it to ChatGPT, and then you're gonna use it, and obviously, like, it's so fucking annoying. Joel, my 16-year-old said that film sucks arse. Which film? I forget what you were saying. Sometimes I'm like kind of off kilter with the chat. He loved watching me making life-changing decisions for fictional characters. I wasn't even good at it. Like, every time it had me make a decision, I couldn't figure out the controls. It was really, really strange. Unless I had like that lack of reaction time in a video game, which may have been the case. Okay, I don't even know how to fix this shit. How is this even upvoted so much? What the fart? I don't know. So too much almost now is the friend. I can't even read this shit. After a while, she started. Okay. She talked about kidnapping me and having me to herself. Like, what the fuck? Like, just look at your writing before pressing enter. She talked about kidnapping me and having me to herself. Obviously, you can tell a traumatized, naive 16-year-old that she'll think it's a joke, which is exactly... What the fucking shit is even going on? I was going to a concert for one of my favorite bands. I'll be happy about it. I'm just gonna skip this story. Fuck this story. Dude, that's so annoying. Can't even read it. Like, what's the fucking point of school if you don't even know how to do it? Sonia, welcome back for 14 months. Proofreading is key. But that's the weird thing is, like, how did it get so many upvotes? And, like, because presumably the Redditors are the biggest grammar Nazis around. And even they were somehow able to decipher his gobbledygook. What's my favorite type of humor? I guess just, like, dark humor, you know? Just stuff that's naughty and you shouldn't say it. Because it's, I don't know, just the mixture of like taboo-ness, but also the realness of it, or whatever. Ooh, shit. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ee, ah. Ooh, ee, ah. Ooh, Jacob Bowling with another one. Says now it's time for the Triple H's song. It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the control if you can take it. All about your debt and if you can play it. It's all about your pain and who's gonna make it. It's Triple H. Triple H. Everybody welcome Triple H. Yeah, butt stuff. Just jokes about butt stuff. Say what? In the butt? I don't know. I guess my humor kind of like is all over the place. Like poop humor is great too. Farts, shitting, diarrhea. Things of shit. Anything that comes out of your body is pretty funny. Back when I lived in the rural Midwest, about 10 years ago, I lived in a house right off the highway. My house was right between one town and another, almost right on the county line. Our house had a big circle driveway, and if you drove in the driveway, you would be going straight towards our barn. If you curved right, you could pull into our garage. If you went past the garage, you could circle around and in front of the house and pull out. Holy fucking shit. I'm gonna try to put this one through chat BBC just to fucking, even though it's not as bad as the last one. Sometimes having a really bad grammar story like almost has a slingshot effect where it makes you good at like reading average stories because it just like feels great. Says grammar. Black Mirror season 6 episode 1. The lady shitted at a wedding. Nice, dude. Rafaela, what's going on? You should play Death Park when you get the chance. What's that one about? How's my day? Today was good. My life is kind of repetitive, but I don't know. I feel good when I'm here. Back when I lived in the rural Midwest about 10 years ago, I lived in a house right off of the highway. My house was situated right between two towns, almost on the county line, and it had a large circular driveway. If you drove into the driveway, you would head straight toward our barn. If you turned right, you could access our garage. Continuing past the garage allowed you to circle around in front of the house and return to where you started. Our house featured two large double doors in the front, which were rarely used. Instead, we usually entered through the doors inside the garage. One night, it was very late and the doorbell rang. My husband, our 3-year-old daughter, and I were all asleep. The sound woke me up, and at first I thought I might be dreaming. Then it rang again, and I woke my husband. He initially believed that I was hearing things until it rang again. It was very dark outside, but we had a dusk to dawn light that illuminated most of the driveway. Unfortunately, the front doors couldn't be seen unless you opened one of them and looked outside. You could open just one at a time or both simultaneously using two latches located at the top and bottom of one of the doors. My husband decided to open the door while I wanted to call the police. However, how's Pradeep tonight? He's good. Where is the little guy? Can't see him. Oh wait, is that him? Is that you? Is that you? Okay, that's him. Sometimes you can never be sure if that's him or like an old sweatshirt. Say your name, Michael Kazak. How many stories did you miss? This is just the third one, I think, of 10. However, we knew it would take some time for them to arrive since we lived on the county line. He opened the door to find a young woman, perhaps in her early 20s. She appeared normal, except for the fact that she was standing at our door in the middle of the night. I looked beyond her and noticed her car parked in our driveway just off the road, not close to the house or the circular driveway. She claimed that she needed to use the phone, explaining that her car battery had died or something, but she wasn't sure. I told my husband that there was no way that we should let her in, as this was how horror movies often started. We offered to call the police, the county sheriff. Jacob Bowling with the 30 bucka-rhinos. Says here's some history about Triple H. Triple H has been WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion, European Champion, Tag Team Champion, 2002 and 2016 Royal Rumble winner, 1997 King of the Ring. Dude, that's fucking sick, man. But do you know anything about trains? That's what I want to know about. That's my particular interests and where they lie. But thank you, Jacob. Very, very kind. Was the highlight of my Halloween? I guess just getting my hair cut. Trains as in freight or transit? Hell yeah, brother. That shit is interesting as hell. What's up, Lizard? Good to see you. We offered to call the police, the county sheriff, but she kept insisting. We assured her that we would make the call, and she eventually walked away. As we watched her return to her car, which was approximately 50 feet away, my judgment of distance might not be too precise, I'm sorry, but I could see both her and the car clearly. I proceeded to call the police, and they said they'd arrive in about 15 minutes. At this point, neither my husband nor I were overly concerned. We assumed it was just a girl with a dead battery. However, as she opened her trunk, no lights illuminated and she began rummaging around inside. Then, as the driver's side door opened and a man stepped out, followed by another man exiting the back passenger door. Okay, I need to say that scarier. I need to increase the scary factor by 2 spookticles. You think I'd like Alan Wake 2? Nice, yeah, it looks sick. Or at least like, you know, atmospheric. Do Jacob and Joel know each other IRL? We do not, no. Jacob is just a major, big-time supporter of the stream and channel. Then, the driver's side door opened, and a man stepped out, followed by another man exiting the back passenger door. They continued to search the trunk with no lights on, and I couldn't hear any of their conversations or determine their actions. They all eventually returned to the car. About 5 minutes had passed, and I was silently praying that the sheriff would hurry and arrive, even though I knew that it would take another 10 minutes or so. The 3 individuals remained in the car, lights off, motionless. I couldn't see them clearly inside the car, but I knew that they hadn't exited and walked past the house, as they would have had to have passed under the dusk to dawn light, which would have been visible to me. I thought I saw the driver light a cigarette, but I wasn't entirely sure. Then, something unexpected occurred. A man whom I didn't recognize emerged from the right side of the property, walking from the direction of the barn. We didn't have neighbors for at least a mile, and he appeared to be coming from the back of my property, which ended at a creek. He walked directly under the dusk to dawn light and proceeded straight to the car without looking at the house. He got into the back of the car, and the vehicle started up. They slowly backed out of my driveway and headed north. The police arrived. Yes. The police arrived approximately 10 minutes later, and by that point, I was in a state of panic. They conducted a search, but couldn't find anything suspicious. They asked if we had noted a license plate number, but the car had been parked too far away. They advised us to call if the individuals returned, which didn't instill much confidence. My husband retrieved his shotgun from the workshop on our property, and we attempted to go back to sleep. What's the best temperature for sleep? I think I read online it was like 65 degrees. Fahrenheit. Jacoby Bowling with a big 30 buckarina says, my mother thought of this funny scenario. Your cat Pradeep dressed as Stone Cold Steve Austin, fighting a cat dressed as John Cena, Triple H special guest referee. How did you think that match would go? Pradeep would cut Triple H's throat. And he smashed some beers over his head. Hell yeah, brother. Do I know Mr. Nightmare? I do not know. I know of him, but we don't know each other personally. Am I on the East Coast? Yepper. East Side. Collab with Mr. Creeps. I've done some collabs with Mr. Creeps. I think I did like we did a story on his channel pertaining to like submarines and mermaids and shit. When you get inflammation, you get chills or aches in your joints. I guess maybe not necessarily chills, but I do notice whenever I eat like shitty food, like after a cheat day, well, I don't know if you want to call it a cheat day particularly, but just bad food, and there's inflammation in my body from the food, ice cream or some shit, pizza, I do notice that like areas in which I might have previously had some discomfort in my joints from working out or whatever, or previous injuries, they will be more prominent. What state do I live in? A state of disbelief. Yeah. How do you think the match with Rhea Ripley and you will go? Who's Rhea Ripley? It's freezing here in Georgia, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a nope from me. Interesting. Is it commonly that cold? Faceless, what is that? Oh, those gangs. Don't put gang stuff here. Someone says it looks like middle school shit. Yeah, no gang signs in the chat, please. Please and thank you. Yeah. Have I done it? Yeah, I've done collaborations with pretty much everyone besides Mr. Smitmare. Fix this grammar, please. One late night at around 3 a.m., I was sitting at my home on my PC, watching movies, playing games, and so on, when I noticed that I was out of cigarettes. The only place that's open late at night is our local gas station, which isn't too far from my home, but it's still easier to go by car. I took my car keys, locked my house, and headed to the gas station. I lived in a small European country known as the safest country on... Boom! Boom! Boom, bam, 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 wow, now. Jacob, with the 30s, says, whenever I think about my mother talking about your cat Pradeep, I think about her thinking you named your cat Purdue, the dog food brand. I stopped laughing about it. It's funny as hell. It is funny. Thank you, Jacob. And Faceless says, can you rate how cute Yim Sawan is, South Korean? Let's see. Yim Sawan. He's a good looking guy. He's like part vampire, part ventriloquist doll. Crafted in a lab. Made specifically for Instagram. But thank you for the 2 Faceless and 7-Leaf Clover with the 2. Canadians is just popping in to say hi on slug data at the moment. Oh, interesting. What's slug data? Okay, where was I? I'm sorry. I took my car keys, locked my house, and headed to the gas station. I live in a small European country known as the safest country on the planet. However, that doesn't mean that bad things don't happen here and there. When you exit the suburban area where I live, you need to turn right to reach the main road. From there, you just go straight for about half a kilometer and then turn left for another half a kilometer to reach the gas station. On the way, I noticed a girl on the sidewalk. I usually drive slower at night because many people tend to speed and run red lights during the nighttime. This girl was walking faster than usual, appearing panicked. I noticed 2 guys behind her who were about 10 feet away, maybe even less, and they were pointing at her and making hand gestures towards her. This gave me a really bad vibe, and as I got closer to the girl, I noticed that she had a frightened expression on her face, as if she was about to cry but held back the tears. So I pulled over close to her and asked very quietly, "Are you in trouble?" And she just looked at me and nodded her head in response. I told her to get in the car, and she did. I explained to her that I was on my way to the gas station to buy cigarettes, but that I would take her home as soon as I finished making the purchase. She thanked me profusely. I asked if she wanted to go to the police to report the incident, but she said she just wanted to go home. I went to the gas station and bought cigarettes for myself and a bottle of water for her. She was clearly in a state of fear, and afterward I took her home. We passed the same street where those 2 guys had followed her, but there were no signs of them. I'm just imagining if I hadn't run out of cigarettes that night, what would have happened to her? Smoking saved my life. Reddit stories. She is. I went to buy cigarette milk, yeah. Good news, cigarette milk. Get yours at the gas station. I'm on that grind. Yeah, I'm on that grind. I'm on that grind. Ooh, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah, yeah, ooh, 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 yeah, yeah, ooh, ooh, yeah, 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 ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. Jacob with a 30 says, if Arthur Morgan was drunk and he was talking to Scooby-Doo, how would that conversation go? So wait, what? You're here trying to solve like mysteries and shit? Yeah, right.
We resolve mysteries. How the fuck can you talk?
There you go. That was it. That was a historically accurate conversation. Joel, if you keep yawning, I'm going to yawn. No, you won't. You'll be fine. I, a female, 36, wish this wasn't real. Let me start by saying it's crazy how children are so trusting. Maybe it's just me. When I was 7 years old, my parents and I were living in a basement apartment in the Bronx. The way the apartment was set up had my mother and father's room at one end of a short hall, the bathroom in the middle, and my room at the other end. If you don't know anything about a basement apartment, just know that it doesn't take much effort to enter one through a window. One very early morning, possibly around 7 or 8, I was woken up by a very sharp, intense pain on my buttock. I got up, thinking our cat had gotten into my room and had bitten me, as she used to nip hard and attack whatever she felt like, toes included. I jumped up, looking for her, only to see a grown man sitting on my bed. I remember being upset and asking him why he had pinched me, to which he hushed me and said something about being thirsty. I remember pulling down my nightgown to cover my buttock and asking him if he wanted juice or water. I wasn't scared at all, more surprised and mad that this man had pinched my buttock so hard. He said that he wanted juice, so I left my room and closed my door with him still sitting on my bed. I walked to the kitchen and got him some juice. As I was bringing the cup back to my room, I looked at my parents' door and thought that I should wake them up, but I can't remember why I decided against it. I ended up giving the man the cup, and he drank the juice. I remember he asked me if I could help him find his friend, and he told me that he was lost. I remember my dad told me that I wasn't allowed to go outside without him or my mother. They were worried as this was a new neighborhood, and we'd only moved in maybe 2 weeks earlier. I remember being scared to go outside because I didn't want my parents to be upset with me, so I told him that I had to wake up my parents to ask. I remember he said that it would be real quick because he knew his friend was somewhere in the area and we would find him quickly. I once again said no and told him that I was not allowed to go outside without my parents, so he ended up saying that he didn't need my help anymore and that he would find them. He asked me to lock the door behind him, so I walked him out, locked the front door, waving goodbye. I tried to go back to sleep, but it was too late. I was wide awake. So I started watching cartoons. Well, the volume happened to be louder than expected because my mother woke up and asked me very angrily. Angrily? Is that a term? Angrily? Yeah, that is fucking scary. This is actually probably one of the scarier ones so far. Do you have any cigarette juice? Well, the volume happened to be louder than expected because my mother woke up and asked me, very angrily, why I was awake so early. I told her all about the man pinching my butt, to which at first she didn't believe me as she thought that I had had a bad dream, but she lifted up my nightgown and I guess I must have had a bruise. And I'll never forget how she got so calm and started smiling at me with a very sweet voice, asking me what he looked like, what happened, and if I remembered what he was wearing. I told her, and she left my room for a moment, coming back with my dad. Beep-ba, beep-ba-ba. Jacob with a $30, says Joel. I'm having a lot of fun now. If Hank Hill won the lottery and he had to pay taxes, what would he say about paying taxes with his lottery money? God dang it. Uncle Sam, even though I respect everything you do for us, if only you wouldn't take so much out in taxes. God dang it. God dang it, taxes. Wait a second. I live in Texas. I don't have to pay state income tax. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, my glutes are working out hard. They are sore. I will never forget how she got so calm and started smiling at me with a very sweet voice, asking me what he looked like, what happened, and if I remember what he was wearing. I told her, and she left my room for a moment, coming back with my dad. She then told me to tell him everything using that same sweet voice, and I did. I didn't think that I was in trouble or anything, and I thought that I had made a new friend. After telling them about my new friend, they got dressed and started searching. Well, it didn't take long because he happened to be the superintendent's family member. When I saw him, I immediately shouted at him, "Hey, friend." My parents told me to go inside. My parents told me to go inside, which I did. Maybe an hour or so later, my parents came back with McDonald's for me, but they seemed angry. Before the end of that day, my father put a padlock on my door and told me that whenever I go to sleep, I should always lock my door, as our kitchen windows didn't lock, and that's how we got in. Sometime later, when I was 15, I found out that the guy was mentally ill and was sent away from the Dominican Republic by his family so he wouldn't get arrested for something he did out there with another little girl. But that's it. It still surprises me that I wasn't scared in the moment. And please, if you or anyone you know lives in a basement, ground level apartment, or flat, please triple check that all the window locks work and lock your windows up. The reverse Hank Hill. Oh my god. They're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god. Do you guys have a favorite burp that I've done? Do you guys have a favorite? What was I even gonna ask? A favorite? Man, I got dementia. I got old timers disease. Oh, do you guys have a favorite length of video? Like, a video is a certain length. Do you have like a preferred duration of a video for me, my channel? He found the story with Mr. Creeps. Sweet. Yeah, it was a fun one. Interesting concept. Favorite caliber? What's your favorite caliber? No. Yeah, we should be good for another hour or so. Man, I started way too late, bro. I'm dumb for that. I'm on that dummy shit. Longer the better. Thick and long. Perfect. Fix this grammar. $45 to an hour. $3 hours. Oh my god. Hey, see you, Lucas. This happened last week, and although she didn't seem malicious, the things she said were creepy. I, a 19-year-old male, was heading home from university, and to get there, I had to take the train. When I boarded, many seats were already occupied. In my country, the seats are arranged in a way that allows 4 people to sit facing each other, and they are quite close together, perfect for conversation, even with strangers, unfortunately. I noticed an available seat in front of a girl who appeared to be 1 or 2 years younger than me, but it's hard to be certain. I approached her and asked if I could sit there. Poll? Yeah, what do you want the poll to be? For a long video or a live? Yeah, just a long video. I guess the longer the better, makes sense. I approached her and asked her if I could sit there. Of course, she replied. Motherfuck. I approached her and asked if I could sit there. Of course, she replied, looking at me in a strange and intense manner. To distract myself from her, I took out my phone, and she also had a chocolate bar in her hand, which would become boom, boom, boom. Shoo, shoo, boo, boo. Ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah. Jacob, with another 30, says, Joe, I told you earlier tonight that I would give back the kindness that you have shown me. I've given you so much kindness tonight, and I'm not done. Joel, you deserve all of this I'm giving you. Jacob, I really appreciate it, man. I just hope that you're not forgetting about your house payments. Dry ramen versus wet ramen. Wet ramen. Why would anyone eat dry ramen? Oh, fucking shit, bro. She also had a chocolate bar in her hand, which would become important later. She asked me, "Where do you live?" And I thought, why do you need to know? So when she inquired about my destination on the train, I told her the stop I would be getting off at. She informed me that she would be getting off at that next stop too. Then she started singing and said, "Oh, sometimes I sing. I'm a silly girl," and repeated it. Every time she said something, she gazed at me as if expecting a response. To avoid further conversation, I simply replied, "It's okay to be silly." Subsequently, she told me, "You're pretty." And then I asked, "What?" And she questioned whether she was pretty. Subsequently.
Mischievous dog.
Rain, Sophia Lewis, thank you for the 5 gifters too. Caitlin Alice, No, Wyatt Gannon, Savannah Barnes, Sam and Colby, and a mommy. And did I miss one? That was 4. Was there another gifter? Was gifted. That's weird. Wait a second. Did I not do another one? We got Caitlin Alice, No, Wyatt Gannon, Savannah. There's got to be another one pop up, right? Maybe it's delayed. That's strange. Well, either way, Rain, thank you so much for the 5. And welcome everybody. Used to eat dry ramen at school as a snack, crush the ramen up, then put the seasoning in, and shake in the bag. Oh, so it's kind of like a chip or something. Interesting. It only gifted 4. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Maybe someone got gifted but it didn't show up. That is very strange. Yeah, Jacob, did you invent an app to be rolling in this much dough? Subsequently, she told me, "You're pretty." And when I asked, "What?" she questioned whether she was pretty. In my language, the second question is an extension of the first, so it seemed like she was correcting herself. She also asked if she had chocolate on her face, and indeed, she did. She even offered me some chocolate, but I declined. She also mentioned a piercing that had come off, and she attempted to put it back on right there on the train. I suggested that she should just go fix it where she originally got it, and she asked, "In Germany? Will you go there with me?" However, I promptly declined. As she struggled to put back her piercing, a mouth piercing, she declared that she was in love with me. I told her that I had a girlfriend, even though I didn't, but there are many attractive girls at my university, and I said, the pace is too fast for me." In response, she threatened to beat my girlfriend. Her "I love you" escalated into, "I'll kidnap you," and strip for me. She asked if I would go with her and if she could accompany me home. And finally, when the train arrived at my destination, she asked, "Are you leaving, my love?" I replied in the affirmative, and fuck.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Jacob, with the 30, says, "I don't have no problem with war. They happen all the time because humans, like them, we haven't improved the way we treat people, but we sure have improved the way we kill people. From a few feet away, it's a shame." Yeah, war's no good. Finally, when the train arrived at my destination, she asked, "Are you leaving, my love?" I replied in the affirmative and went on my way, thankfully, without her following me home. My love, my love, my love. Alright, this story's about China. China. Chinese chicken. Alright. More grammar fixing, please. Fix this grammar, please. You guys say please so the robots don't kill you. Ever had my own scary encounter? I don't know. I feel like here and there, but I just can't think of anything right now. I'm a woman from China, but I grew up in Sydney, Australia. I was born in Beijing on the outskirts in a large town called Yungang Residential District, where my mom's family is from. When I was 5, my family and I immigrated to Australia, but we would still travel back to China every few years. This incident happened in the snowy winter of 1997 when I was 11 years old. My grandparents still lived in Yungang and introduced me to a brother and sister who lived in the same building as them. I can't remember their exact ages, but I think the older girl was around 14 and the younger boy was around 6. I still remember the exact outfit that I was wearing because I'd been wearing the same outfit throughout the trip. At that time, flared jeans were in fashion, and coming from Australia, I wasn't prepared for the snow and cold of the Chinese winter. So on my first or second day there, my Chinese cousin had taken me to a shopping mall where she helped me haggle down the price of a bright pink duffel coat with fluffy white trimming. I thought it was the most fashionable thing ever and wore it every day. I have photos of me from the trip wearing that exact outfit. We walked around town and ended up going to a very large park with a lake inside of it. It was a little bit of a distance from the center of town. We were playing by the shore, throwing rocks, joking around, and having a good time. At some point, I looked up and realized that it was getting dusky. Although it probably wasn't very late, considering it was winter, the sun set early. The park, which had never been very busy to start with, was nearly deserted. There were still some people, but they were a fair distance away from us, except for two men who suddenly approached us. They were middle to late middle-aged and the uncle type. One of them approached me and said that he was a friend of my father's and that he'd asked him to pick us up. I remember being confused because my dad didn't live in this town and was in another district about 2 hours away in Beijing, where his family was from, and pretty quickly I realized something was off, and so did the brother and sister that I was with. We all started making excuses and backing off. I still remember very clearly that as we started backing away, the man who approached us looked over his shoulder at his companion as if asking him what he should do. His companion was standing a little distance away beside a white van with the door already slid open. I completely believed that he was considering snatching one of us and making a run for it. However, perhaps because there were 3 of us, and perhaps because there were still people around in the peripheries, they didn't do anything. As I walked away rapidly, I looked back over my shoulder and remember seeing the 2 men just standing there, watching us go. That 15 to 20 minute walk back was one of the scariest walks of my life, as I imagined someone grabbing me from behind every second. The sun set just as we got into the building, and I burst in through the door, so happy to be home safe. I did tell my mom and grandmother about it, but at that time, child kidnappings in China, while already happening, were much less of a massive and widespread news story than it is now. I think my mom, especially, felt that being almost kidnapped was somehow a commentary on her parenting skills and was very dismissive, and even now dislikes it when I bring it up. Now that organized child and/or bride kidnappings are such a huge story in China, it often makes me shiver at night to think how different my fate could have been. There have been so many stories about young women and girls kidnapped and forced into becoming brides of villagers in remote countrysides, sometimes tied to beds and having their legs broken.
Oh yeah. Chair.
Jacob Bowling with the 40 buccarinos says, Joel, this will be my last donation because now I'm getting tired, so to end the night, I wanted to say this. Joel, thank you for everything you do, and I've had an awesome time tonight. I hope you have an awesome and amazing night. Take care. Jacob, thank you so much for your support. You've been crazy tonight. You've been wild, wet and wild, crazy kids. Thank you so much for that support. Appreciate you, and I hope you have a great night. I hope we cured your nausea. There have been so many stories about young women and girls kidnapped and forced into becoming brides of villagers in remote countrysides, sometimes tied to beds and having their legs broken to prevent them from running away. They're forced to bear children one after another. No one in the village will help them because almost all the men in the village have purchased brides from traffickers in this way. There are also children, usually boys, kidnapped into families who have been unable to have kids or adopt legally. They fare a bit better, but can also be abused and neglected. Now that I have my own kids and am safe and warm in my bed in Sydney, I sometimes think about how wildly and irrevocably my life might have derailed that snowy evening in Yungang and shiver. Yungang. Now that I have my own kids and am safe and warm in my bed in Sydney, I sometimes think about how wildly and irrevocably my life may have derailed that snowy evening, and I shiver at the thought. Now, that sounded weird. Alright, hold on a second. Now that I have my own kids and am safe and warm in my bed in Sydney, I sometimes think about how wildly and irrevocably my life may have derailed that snowy evening. All right. We're cruising, we're schmoozing. Shit. What kind of music do I listen to? All kinds of stuff, anywhere from like hip hop to rock to experimental stuff to, folk music, you know what I mean? Just literally, I love all music, honestly. Just the sound of all of it is so cool. All right. Yeah, I'll listen to heavy metal when I do, like when I was doing my heavy squats. When I was doing like the 500 squat, I was, listening to some Lamb of God. My taste in music is impeccable, thanks. What about foreign languages? Yeah, I like foreign language songs. Really, I mean, as long as it sounds good, I don't care about where it's from. Happy Friday, Catherine. How you doing? Avant jazz, fusion jazz. Yeah, I love jazz. Jazz is fucking awesome. Jazz, the '90s jazz hip hop stuff was some of my faves. Diggable Planets is one of my favorite old school groups. This story comes from Belgium and took place in 2020 during all the confinements that we were under. I was 20 back then. At the time, because of the severity of everything going on in Belgium, the law stated that you should only go out to practice sports or to work, so I took the habit of meeting with a friend, they go by Soli, to go out for runs and to practice all kinds of sports in general. Both of us were quite fond of urban exploration and knew a spot in the outskirts of Brussels consisting of an old sports and wellness center that was where we... Fucking hell. Kiara MacHort, thank you for the 5s. It's just popping in and say hello. Hello. Kiara, good to see you. You should listen to The Street by J-Hope and J. Cole. I feel like, I do like J. Cole. Yeah, if you guys ever want me to listen to like music or anything, I think the best way to do it, because I do really like listening to like just different songs and hearing different things. If you guys have Twitter, my Twitter is, or X, better known as X, is at Let's Read Creepy, and you can put YouTube clips on Twitter and just tag me in the Twitter and the tweet. Brianna, thank you. Good to see you. Listen to BTS. Yeah, I haven't really listened to much K-pop, to be honest. I saw Overwatch was doing a K-pop thing, like a collaboration, and like the front page, I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're just begging for some Rule 34 here. What the hell is that shit? Both of us were quite fond of urban exploration and knew a spot in the outskirts of Brussels consisting of an old sports and wellness center where we took the habit to hang out after our runs. To get into the spot, you must go through a hole in a fence on a street, cross a small portion of woods, and you'll come up on an old football pitch and tennis courts. Up on a hill is the center, which is an old 4-story building. The whole center takes a whole street block. Oops. The whole center takes up a whole street block, and on that day, we had just finished a 5-kilometer run and went to our usual spot as usual. What the fuck? You should listen to Skibbity Toilet. You're obsessed with me? Thank you, thank you.
I'm obsessed with you. I've been looking up your info all day.
Yeah, I do have Instagram as well at letsread.official. No, right? Yeah. But Instagram kind of sucks where you can't really like send, you can't like tag, just kind of casually tag somebody in it to see it. You got to go through the whole rigmarole of, I don't know, just pain in the butt. You should listen to Loaded Diaper. Do you get the reference? Loaded Diaper. Is that from I Think You Should Leave? I don't know. Actually, let's look it up. I gotta decipher this joke. Oh, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. No, I never. My nephew used to read the shit out of those. But I think that was after my time of story reading. Aaliyah Poison, or Elia, I hope I'm saying that right, with the one gifter to DJ Pempek. Thank you, Elia. Off to play on your phone and go to sleep before my newborn adopted daughter Ava Rose wakes up for a bottle. Good night. Hey, good night. Take care. And you always have, no matter how hard life gets, you always have phone time in bed. It's the best. Haters, what's up? Have you seen the Modern Warfare 3 ending? It's abysmal. No, is that game already out, or did it leak, or what's the deal with that? I don't really like playing like the new Call of Duty games, or I don't really want to buy them because the multiplayer is like very repetitive and it's like the same shit every time almost. And then the single player is just sort of like an on-rails shooter. Honestly, I would rather play an on-rails shooter experience than... I mean, their campaigns are fun. It's, it's interesting, but you kind of have to go into it expecting it's just going to be like a movie. Listen to Gamma Bomb. Did you ever listen to the Flaming Lips? The Flaming Lips. Campaign is out, but it's a waste of money. Yeah, it's kind of how it's been, I really wish they would like update their, their game engine, like, or just create a new game engine for like next gen stuff. It's like they got so much fucking money, but they don't invest it back into the engine at all. It's been using the same fucking engine since 2005 probably, with like various little updates, but not like good ones. You got a long list of songs for me to listen to. Can I DM you? You can just tag me on Twitter, because you can do multiple tags, and I will see it eventually, I think. I'm not on Twitter a lot, but when I pass through there, if I see like music links, it's like if I'm on my desktop, it makes it easy to just like share it or click it. Elia. Okay, cool. Making sure I'm saying it right. Thank you. People are saying the campaign's worse than Vanguard. Uh-oh. Yeah, I honestly have not played the game since Modern Warfare 2. But like, What I mean, like the actual original Modern Warfare 2. Because Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was good. That got me into the Call of Duty back when I was like in high school. It was fucking sick. And then World at War, played that in college. And then after that, I think I was a junior in college and I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And it was poop shit. You know, it was the same shit. Pinchy, hey, I am you. Hello, Pinchy. Hello, self. I am you, you are me. You tagged me on X for a song I listened to that sent me to sleep every night. Heck yeah. I will check it out. On that day, we had just finished a 5-kilometer run and went to our spot as usual. We were walking to the building since it was about to rain when we saw 2 teenagers sitting on the roof edge. I remember thinking that it bothered me since we were planning to go to that roof as well. So we went to the hall area to wait for a bit in hopes that people would leave. In the hall area, you could have a clear view into the kitchen, which you must go through if you want to get to the roof. You can also see into another small hall and into the dining room. Sully was rolling himself a cigarette when I was gathering 2 chairs and an office table for us to sit. The next part gives me chills to this day. As I finished setting everything up, I remember starting to feel unwell, as if though I was being watched, and not in a good way. And that's when I looked at the kitchen and saw for a brief moment a head sticking out of the door frame and staring right at us. It was a man. I couldn't say what age he was since he was all dirty, but the one thing I remember is that he had an exaggerated happy expression on his face, like he had just found exactly what he was looking for. At that moment, I just froze and was unable to react bravely in that situation. I leaned slowly towards Soli, all while keeping eye contact with the man, and told him very calmly that we had to leave immediately. I tend to make lots of jokes to all of my friends, and especially to Soli, but when he saw the look that I had on my face when I told him that we had to leave, he didn't say a word, just took his backpack and stood up. We ran to the football pitch and saw that the 2 teenagers were still on the roof, so we started yelling at them, asking if the man was with them or if they had seen him, but they just answered that no, they hadn't seen anyone and had come by themselves, so if someone was there, he wasn't with them. We told him it was probably better for them to leave as well, since we didn't want that man in the lobby. Oops. Hey, SB, thank you for the 349 euros, I think. Are those euros? Thank you, SB. Oh, man. I'm tired. People are saying why the campaign is so terrible is because the campaign is the end product from the writer's strike, and I think that's a reasonable theory. That's a good point. Mischievous dog. I'm surprised there weren't more like, I don't know, just like writers' scabs, you know? I imagine you could find some pretty good writers on Reddit or something, you know? Dawn, welcome back for 3 months, says, Twitter's the one social media I don't have, so what's the best way to share some awesome music with you? You could email me, letsreadsubmissions@gmail.com, and I might see it on there. But Twitter's just easy because, you know, it's just kind of like quick and convenient. I'm obsessed with the podcast. Thank you, Jew. Appreciate you. We're truly burning the 2 a.m. oil. We decided to leave since we already... Wait, where were we at? We told them that it was probably better for them to leave as well, since we didn't know what the man in the lobby was up to. They told us that they would be fine, and they would leave a little bit later. We decided to leave since we had already told them what we saw, and we had also been out for a very long time, so it wasn't very legal with the sort of confinement rules going on. As we were walking towards the woods, I turned back, and I could swear that I saw a silhouette standing in front of the staircase leading to the roof, but my mind didn't quite react, and I just left alongside with my friend. I was so shocked, because nothing like it had ever happened to me before, that I decided not to talk about it to anyone in fear of them not believing me or possibly even making fun of me. My friend Soli is really the only... Fuck. Oh, Lo-Fi, what's going on? You make any new music lately? I do think about you from time to time with your jams. You made good jams. My friend Soli is the only one who was there. He didn't take a look at the man, but he is as scared as me just by seeing my own reaction at the time. I don't know what happened to these teenagers. I found local articles and papers dating from that time about teenagers being chased by a crazy man in an abandoned building, but the information given wasn't enough for me to be sure that it was the same people and the same story. Doing a lot of EDM music lately. Haven't done lo-fi much this year. Maybe this winter I'll do a few. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, let me check out your... Take a listen to the Muzak if there's anything new on there. Oh, unless it's unless you started like a separate channel. You get accepted in the music library for sync licensing as well as doing that. Oh, sick! That's awesome. Yeah, this is dope. Trip down the lo-fi lane, baby. Shake your tail, fella. Makes you want to go skateboard. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Use MySpace. Does it still exist? Yeah, dude. This is definitely a fucking vibe for sure. It just feels good on the ears too. Just that like certain frequency. Hell yeah. Go subscribe to Lo-Fi Lane. That shit was fire, bro. That one was called Lost Minds on Lo-Fi Lane. Ease your depression, lo-fi beats, study, drive, relax, chill, vibe, eat, sleep, shit, poop, fart, anything you want with that song. It was awesome. Cool. No, I love that. I love, like, I don't know. I love just connecting with other people who are into, like, creative, just creative stuff. So if you guys ever have, like, creative things that you want to share on the stream, let me know. I'd love to take a peep at them. Give it a bit of a peep. Did you know you can stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time? Even TikTok, too. You should do it so you can really expand. I probably should, honestly. I heard about how Twitch had allowed that. And I wonder how complicated it would be to, like, simulcast at the same time on all of those. Joel, the radio DJ. I try. Give you the good shit. Alright. Let's get back to the scory stories. Creepy bicycle man in the fields. There we go. DJ Poopa Diaper in the house. I don't know. My one friend always had he had 100 different nicknames, because he was just one of those. He's just one of those people, He was a silly Billy, and I don't even know just how many fucking nicknames he had, but I just remember he played music or something one time. My buddy called him DJ Poopa Diaper. It was so fucking stupid, but it was funny. Alright, this story happened. And then he got a blue coat one time when they I felt bad. It was a blue coat for the rain, snow or something. They called him Tidal Wave. Jesus Christ. This website lets you do it. Don't know what it's called. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, I feel like Streamlabs probably has a way to just make it real simple. What's up, Darcy? What's going on? Alright, this story happened. Oh yeah, okay. Did I already? No, we need to start over. Let me just throw this into chat. BBC. Fix this grammar. My humor is broken. A little bit. Have you seen the new FNAF movie? Yeah, I did earlier today. I watched it. It was silly. It also kind of just didn't make any fucking sense. I don't even know. Just the plot overall. It just was kind of all over the place. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? This story happened a while ago, but it still haunts my mind. I live in a quiet countryside where usually nothing happens. I'm an 18-year-old girl who can easily walk around my hometown alone without feeling scared because it's very safe here. Basically, there's almost no crime. So, as usual, my dog and I went for a walk one evening. The weather was nice, so I decided to go to a nearby field. I usually let my dog off her leash there, and it's fun for both of us. She's a nice dog and always comes when I call her. We reached the field, and everything was going well, and nothing seemed off. Except for this odd feeling in my gut that I don't usually have. The last time I had this feeling was when I was 8 years old and we were driving at night with my family. I said something like, "I feel like something's wrong and you should be careful." They slowed down because I was oddly serious at that moment. A minute after I said that, a deer came out of nowhere and we would have crashed if we had been going at the same speed as a minute before. We were all shocked and my mom thanked me, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. However, in the field 10 years later, I got that same gut feeling. Whatever, I thought, and just kept going, completely ignoring it. We rolled around the fields and the nearby forest until the sunset started to go. I put my dog back on her leash and decided to leave from one of the tiny paths that go through a small forest. It's the quickest way to home. It's not a popular route, but it's quick. As I was walking along the path, I suddenly spotted a silhouette at the end of the road just before the forest started. I didn't think much of it at that point and kept walking. But after a while, I had a strong gut feeling, and I stared at the silhouette for a while. It was then that I noticed that the silhouette was staring back at me without moving. I initially thought that maybe they were waiting for someone, as the silhouette. Your mama gut. Trust your mama gut. That was also from the same guy that came up with a nickname for Tidal Wave. Hide your shining. Am I shining? What are you talking about? I initially thought that maybe they were waiting for someone, as the silhouette looked like a child's. But as I got closer, I realized that it wasn't a child, but a grown man who was struggling to ride a child's bicycle. It was a blue-green boy's bicycle, and his legs were way too long for it. His whole body looked like he was forcing himself to ride it, and it was really an unsettling sight. Still, I didn't want to turn around and waste a couple of kilometers of time. Even though it was creepy looking, I thought, maybe he's waiting for someone coming from my direction. But with every step I took, he followed me with an intense and motherfucker. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, every time you guys came to a stream, I never made a single mistake? I honestly think women, there's something might be like biologically built into them to be like more inclined towards things like The Shining. You know, the concept of like basically like psychic, like strangely what you would describe as like psychic abilities, but I believe that there's something biologically different, primarily in like women, to almost be like able to connect as like an oracle to some sort of like overarching connecting, you know, like fabric of space-time in a weird way. And because it like evolutionarily served them very well to like protect them from danger and that kind of stuff, you know, in the past, because they would be like susceptible to, you know, getting captured or some shit, or just, I don't know, victimized, whatever it might be. But I kind of just feel like that is like an evolutionary adaptation within the person, or like, and like women specifically, is like a sort of hyper, a bit like almost like a psychical ability to recognize danger. That's why we live longer usually. Yeah. That's such an interesting thing. I also had a dream of future moments of time, and I'm a male. I get what you mean as well. Yeah, you know, I definitely think men are capable of like psychic abilities, but I almost just find that it's like more common, you know, in. Are you trying to describe intuition? I mean, maybe I literally am, but I mean, just like little things like that, like being able to feel somebody else's like eyes on you in a weird way, without actually knowing that they're even there or looking, or like being able to recognize a dangerous situation, which might be intuition too, but like also there's some sort of crossover with that, and like observing or predicting future events. And obviously it scales like people's certain abilities to do so. And I remember I watched this one little meme that popped up where this guy talked about like a gut reaction or trusting your gut, and trusting your gut was like quite physically describing like trusting the bacteria in your gut that's connecting to like serotonin receptors or whatever that go to your brain, like that there's maybe bacteria that you have ingested. I don't know when or how or what it is, or maybe it's grown, symbiotically with our bodies, but it's able to like sort of recognize something, indirectly, and then it's able to like tell the human host body like, hey, heads up or something. I always thought that would be an interesting sort of concept biologically, that like bacteria within our own system is able to like either manipulate us or make us aware of certain things, mainly for its own survival, obviously, but to keep the host alive is important for its survival. So it would feel more like as if though the gut bacteria is like one with us. You're oblivious to everything. Well, that's fair too. You just gotta drink more kombucha. You always wake up before an earthquake. I swear I can feel the vibration and stuff like that. That might be kind of like changes in pressure. It's almost like whenever a storm is coming in. Or a virus in our genome. It's possible. You never know, like on those like microbiological levels, how much spiritual things might have some sort of crossover with biological things, and maybe they're all just like part of the same sort of concepts, but just we use different words to describe them. And maybe one day we'll be able to, honestly, like microbe theory and that kind of thing. Isn't it weird to think that like we didn't even really get antibiotics till more recently from like some Scottish scientist or whatever? It just makes you wonder like what other crazy shit, because that's so important, oh, you're gonna get an infection, or wash your hands, you don't want to get an infection, or shit like that. It's just crazy. SB, welcome to the Buttersock Cult. You now have access to bonus content. There's actually research about this. I can't recall what it's about, but I believe it or not, the whole gut feeling phenomenon is a reaction of the gut biome where the healthy bacteria is. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, it would totally make sense, like some sort of abstract connection between whatever the gut bacteria is capable of detecting and then its ability to symbiotically communicate with some sort of receptors that connect to your brain. Like it all just is like just traveling over various systems. The colon cleanse with hot peppers, hell yeah. Down them ghost peppers. But with every step I took, he followed me with an intense expression. I was only about 20 meters away from him when he started doing weird jumps on his bike, smiling the ugliest and most unsettling smile that I've ever seen, just staring at me with wide eyes. He looked like he was expecting something and was so excited about it that he needed to jump. He appeared to be in his 50s or something, with very long and thin legs and arms, bald, and that creepy, unsettling smile. And that's when my alarm bells went off. I glanced behind me and there was no one there, just me, an 18-year-old girl with her fluffy, definitely not a guard dog. I turned around 360 degrees and started jogging. Holy shit. You know why they call it the Xbox 360? Because I do a 360 and walk out of the room when I see one. I just think that's so fucking funny that someone actually did the 360 degrees reference in a story. What's REDDOT? REDDOT is a new alternative to Reddit, and it's filled with Chinese bots and AI. There's no actual users. The entire website is just sort of a strange illusion to make you think that people are having conversations, but it's actually just little ghosts in the computer. You ever felt a connection with someone and suddenly you sense something wrong and find them that they passed away? I feel like I've had concerns for people before, and then all of a sudden, like when I tell them that I think about them, they also say that they had some sort of like thought of me. And sometimes I try to get people to, in a weird way, I try to get people to think about me by thinking about them, which is stupid as hell, but it's funny. Like, I almost like, if you think about them enough, they'll text you. They don't. They block you. Hi, kitty. The gut biome has a direct connection to the spinal nerve, which is basically our brain receiving signal from down there. The discovery is fairly recent, so curious what else we might find. Yeah, hopefully the science will be... That's the unfortunate thing about science is, like, the funding for certain sciences, like, will it even be allowed to be investigated if it, like, interferes with any sort of modern, I don't know, pharmaceutical bullshit. Beatrice, what's up? Could also be why dogs are somehow able to tell sometimes whether some people are good or bad people. That might be true too, yeah. Being able to connect directly. Or, you know, also, it's like sometimes I wonder about, since their smell is like 1,000,000 times better than ours, what if they can just like smell the pheromones that you release, like, kind of how certain dogs can be trained to recognize cancer cells. Do you ever hear about that? What if dogs can like smell some sort of like aggressive pheromone or maybe like cortisol that your body releases like prior to like your desire to be like predatory, you know? Or alpha waves, yeah. You don't like Reddit that much? Reddit stories or just Reddit in general? Which is fine. Normal Reddit is cringe. Cringe, Basil, cringe. I had that with my younger brother. We were close, and I knew that there was something very wrong before I found out he was in a coma. I knew he wasn't going to wake up. Oh, man. I turned around 180 degrees and started jogging back the way I came, just in case. I glanced at him and sighed in relief when I noticed that he wasn't following me or anything. I thought maybe he wasn't waiting for me after all and called myself stupid and a scaredy cat, but I was wrong. My adrenaline started to slow down as I was in the middle of the fields, and I still saw no sign of him following me. I let my dog off of her leash again, and she started to run around. I was nearly at the end of the field. I only had 1 kilometer or so of forest before I got to my home after the field part, when my dog spotted a rabbit or deer or something interesting and bolted towards it. I panicked because she had never done that before, and I yelled for her. I yelled plenty of times for her pretty loudly, and finally she came back. I was relieved that nothing happened to her, but as I put her back on her leash, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. The bald man with the long legs was biking toward me. He wasn't looking at the ground when he biked, but at me. Freakout wasn't enough to express my feelings at that moment. I had never seen a human who looked so crazy, more than crazy. What surprised me the most was that he was biking through a field, and I can tell you, it's not an easy field to navigate sometimes. It has muddy ponds that you need to jump over, but that psycho just biked right through them. He was struggling a lot to bike there, but somehow managed to do it, and I didn't watch for another second behind me because I just started running. I ran so fast, and I have asthma, that I saw black and nearly collapsed. My lungs hurt so bad that I thought I was going to die, but the adrenaline kept my blood running in my legs too. Once I glanced behind me, and he was there, struggling badly to keep up his full speed on the field grounds with that ugly white smile. Way too little bike. Motherfucker, what is this even saying? Yeah. Showing off my gat for the Rizzler. He's so skibbity. Thigh high senpai. Oof. With the 10 says there's a dead body behind the Domino's I work at. And you're turning it into pepperoni as we speak. It's crazy that that's where Domino's gets most of their ingredients. The dumpster. Once I glanced behind me, and he was there, struggling badly to keep up his full speed on the field grounds with that ugly white smile and the way too little bike. After that, I just ran like crazy until I found a house, hid in their yard without even minding that I was in someone else's yard. It didn't matter to me at that moment. I waited a while with my breathing stuck in my throat, but he didn't come. I had been planning to yell as loudly as I could if he found me, but he never did. At some point, the adrenaline started leaving my system, and I left my hiding spot. I ran again until I reached an area with multiple people in their yards, so I would have help if I saw him again, but I didn't. I typed 911 into my phone, but couldn't bring myself to call, mostly because I had no proof and I didn't want my parents to find out since they were overprotective. I still live with them, by the way. I've been paranoid since this incident, and my dog was frightened too. I guess she noticed something was really off. I swear to God that I will always listen to my gut when it's telling me something from now on. I'm still scared of him, and I've expected to randomly spot him in some area and wonder what he could have done to me. I can't forget his awful smile. I feel like he's going to reappear at my window one night and do whatever he wants to me. I feel paranoid and helpless, and I'm still thinking about calling the police. Just cranking through the swamp at 3 miles per hour. Yeah, just like...
Do you need help? Miss, do you need help? I'm here to help. Jump on the back of my bike. I will take you to the promised land.
Yeah, maybe he was coming to see if she actually needed help, because she did say she, like, screamed a bunch. Dog! Dog, no! Dog, no! Ah. Bit is tired. I am tired. Plug. 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 Lizards are cool. Blue bellies love warmth and cling to you and won't let you go. So cute. They're trying to eat you. Hey, galactic bitch, what's up? Skibbity. Alright, last story of the schmeevening. Let me go take my magnesium. All of you may talk amongst yourselves, and I will BRB. shitting on my bed for the Rizzler. I'm so shittity. Oh my god. Dude. I love sleeping. I'm back. Let's poop. I've never forgotten that event, even though it happened over 10 years ago now. Today, I'm 26 years old, and I still get goosebumps, and it's even creepier with my now adult eyes. In fact, to be more precise, this event took place over a period of more than 6 months. To put into context, it all started when I was about 14 years old. At the time, I was attending a private secondary school in the south of France, and I used to go to my grandmother's house every evening to wait for my mother to finish work and pick me up. My mother, who was retired, would wait for me in her car when I got out of school. However, as time passed, I wanted to be more independent. So, I asked her if I could take the bus home, and she agreed. I'd like to put on my headphones and take advantage of the long journey to listen to my favorite music and be on my own. Fuck. I'm starting to see the world with some adult eyes. You're on the verge of falling asleep. Well, wake up! If I'm gonna be awake, you gotta be awake. Rabbit Tears blog. Thank you for the 150. Appreciate you. The Rizzler appreciates it too. I'd like to put on my headphones and take advantage of the long journey to listen to my favorite music and be in my own world. The nearest bus stop to her house was about a 10-minute walk away. Unfortunately, the one opposite the dead-end street where she lived had been condemned due to lack of use, but that didn't bother me as I enjoyed walking. So I started taking the same bus every day at roughly the same time, though my schedule could vary. For instance, I didn't have classes on Wednesday afternoons. When I was 14, I was quite childlike. By childlike, I mean that I had always had a youthful appearance. I didn't have a woman's figure and always had cute stuffed animals hanging from my bag. Well, I suppose you can imagine. One day, I first noticed this man on the bus at around September to October. He must have been in his 40s, not very tall and bald. Why did I notice him, you might ask? Because he was staring directly at me, and I had the feeling that he wasn't blinking. He would smile at me, but his smiles didn't inspire confidence. It was completely instinctive. I had never encountered the harsh realities of the world. I was still very naive, but I knew something wasn't right. I didn't say anything. I simply decided to avoid the situation that made me uncomfortable by looking in another direction. However, this was just the beginning of something I would remember forever. This man took the same bus as me every day at the same time, even when my schedule changed. To this day, I still have no idea how he could have obtained this information. Was he watching me? Did he live near the school? He would always stare at me with those same... I'm your favorite air guitarist. Oh, my feet hurt. You always like wearing headphones? Headphones are pretty sick. Who up gattin' their Rizzler? Am I into rock? Yeah, I like rock music. I like Rizzler music. I only listen to Skibbity Toilet. Skibbity Shitter. How's the stream going? Stream's going good. Jacob donated $10 million, and yeah, we're rocking and rolling. we're all rizzling. He would always stare at me with those He would always stare at me with those strange smiles, never speaking to me. I would get off the bus at my stop, and he would stay on, and then the cycle would start all over again the next day. I was so terrified by the situation that I didn't dare tell anyone. I was afraid that they wouldn't believe me, and I was also afraid that I wouldn't be allowed to leave the house afterwards. Then, one day, around May to June at the end of the school year, I had had enough. I got off at a stop halfway through the journey and hid naively behind a tree to try to lose him. I was fed up with his persistent stares. However, the man also got off the bus and started looking for me. There was nobody else around, and that's when I realized that I wasn't safe. The man was calling out to me, saying, "Where are you, sweetheart? Come out. Let's have a chat." I was, so to speak, sweating and unable to move from behind my tree. Of course, he eventually found me. "You're really pretty, you know that? I'd love to have a chat, get to know you." Frankly, I didn't want to get to know him at all. He terrified me, and I just wanted to go home. I tried to make him understand that he was frightening me and that I wanted him to leave me alone. I asked him what he wanted, and he kept repeating the same thing. "Just to get to know each other." The next bus arrived, and I took the opportunity to run onto it, but he followed me. He sat down, stopped talking, and continued to stare at me, smiling. I was in a state of internal panic. My thoughts were racing in all directions, and I didn't know what to do. I made the worst decision of all, getting off at my usual stop and going back to my grandmother's house, thinking that he would do the same and stay on the bus. However, this time, he got off at the same time as me. The stop was in a very lightly trafficked area and was lined with little dirt paths that served as shortcuts to parallel thoroughfares. I told myself that he was going to kidnap me, that he was going to take me down one of those paths, and that I would never be able to go home again. But I didn't want him to notice my fear because it seemed to fuel him, give him a sense of dominance. So he continued to ask me to get to know each other while following me. I picked up the pace, and he kept aligning himself with me, and he wouldn't let go. Eventually, I reached my grandmother's dead-end street and finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I ran up to her house, and she was standing in the doorway reading a book. She saw me coming, red-faced and still shaking with panic, with the bald man staring at us from behind the gate. She saw my face, and I didn't need to say anything. She yelled that she was going to call the police if he didn't leave immediately. He turned around and left that dead-end street. After that, my grandmother categorically refused to let me take the bus again. Until my senior year, she wanted me up in front of the school gate every day. I never saw that man again. When I think that this guy, this adult, followed a 14-year-old girl home, that he became fixated on me, and that this happened every day, who knows how far it could have gone. Maybe that's what's most worrying about all of this. To the man, Sniffy Joe. Yeah, it was Joe Biden, probably.
"Hey, where are you going? I'm the president. I just want to get a quick whiff. It invigorates me."
Jackie Chan, welcome back for 1 month. Since been listening a while now, super chatted here and there, but this is the first time I get a member milestone chat. What do I say? I only have 12 letters. No worries, Jackie Chan. Good to see ya. And holy shit, Kiara McCourt. Welcome back. For 49 months. Is that 4 years? I think that's over 4 years. Say anything you want. Ooga booga wooga juga. That's my favorite phrase. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows how far it could have gone? Maybe that's what's most worrying about all of this. All right. Whew. And exactly on the dot, 3 hours. How do we do it? How do we do it every time? Every stream is like approximately the exact same length and girth. But we have to read the outro script first, and I need you guys to think of something funny for me to say. And if it doesn't make everyone in the house laugh, you're gonna be taken out back and sprayed with a hose. God damn it, I can't fucking move this. Okay, we're good. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. I release new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. And there are super fun live streams every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night. I'd love to see you there. If you got a story, be sure to submit them to my subreddit, r/Let'sReadOfficial, and maybe even hear your story featured on the next video. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations and bonus content over on Patreon, or click that big join button to hear about the extra perks offered for the channel. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all of these stories and big compilations and save huge on data, located anywhere you listen to podcasts. All links in the description below. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, what's my Twitter? @Let'sReadCreepy. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, every time is the exact same length and girth. Trust your mama gut. I think I've said that before, though. Something about mama gut. Oh, shit, we did it, friends. We have done it. And read stories on the internet. Crazy, right? How the hell do I do it? But I do, and I do it a lot. And I'd love to see it there for another stream in the future, which I guess it's Thursday, so I'll be back streaming on Sunday night. Hopefully not as late. Hopefully a little bit earlier. But yeah, I'm gonna get these stories up and edited over on Patreon for early access over there for all the supporters. And then I'll get it up on YouTube, same time, same place, for your Friday viewing pleasure. 7 p.m. EST. And it does really help if you watch the video right when it comes out. It kind of helps let YouTube know, hey, these guys like this. Let's send it out to more people, and kind of keeps the snowball rolling, if you get the vibe, you know? I have a gift. Did somebody gift me something? All right. I will catch all of you guys on the next one, but I hope you have an amazing weekend. Follow me on social media and all that good stuff, and especially on Twitter, because @Let'sReadCreepy, there you'll be able to be kept up to date when I go live, on the off chance the notifications do not notify you as they should. But otherwise, my friends, I hope you have a great November 3rd on planet Earth. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.